but there's like, we're only like, okay, I know a designer and I know a model and maybe a stylist, but outside of that you're like, there's so many jobs, there's so many different ones that like, it's kind of like finding what's right for you. And now I'm working as like an assistant designer and I love that, but I'm also like, I think I want to explore other things too, because I don't know if this is my specific thing forever, and it's just like, what are the pathways to all the other parts of the fashion world, I think.
Okay. How about you, Megan?
Yeah, I like that a lot actually, because that was one thing when I moved here. I was like, kind of, what can I do? You know, like what's the right spot for me? How can I, you know? I loved helping out when I was at D5 with the models. You know, I think that was really like cool for me to see kind of behind the scenes and like see how it works and like understand the different components. But I think the jobs and like the future of like, you know, it's a good point to make because yeah, there's so much. And Columbus has a lot, you know, of those around there too. And I think you gotta bring it to date, you know. Right. Yeah, you gotta bring it to date and everything. And I think
So Bradley and Danielle, do you have any questions for them in terms of how they made that leap from the incubator to college to going into career and narrowing down that's what they wanted?
I think individually for myself, my question would be as somebody who is an older designer and those careers that you're speaking of, where is the happy place between education and that skill and talent? Because everybody may not go that high. That really, and you know, sometimes you get into certain industries and you come to find you don't actually need a degree for certain things. You don't actually need. So, is, you know, providing, see if I can find resources on pathways for those jobs, for those freelance opportunities that allow for you to do it in a way that's not a formal, you know.
I think it's about, because I know people who I work with now who are working as associate designers who started off on the retail side of things, working in the store, and then were able to get hired as an assistant, and they spent longer being an assistant maybe than somebody who went through like FIT because they had maybe a more of a learning curve, but then that was just a different pathway for them basically into it, where they started as an assistant, did that for more like 5 years as an assistant, and then now they're an associate designer. So I think that there are other pathways. It's about finding the places that value a skill set over a pedigree, I think, and also making sure you have this, finding out what the skill set is for that job and developing, like you were saying, you don't necessarily have to learn it in school. So if you are like learning all the necessary skills, if you want to do an assistant design job, then if you make sure you find out what are the things I need to do that job, and then are able to make your argument for why you are able to do those things, then they'll probably hire you. I don't think a degree is not necessary. You can say on your resume or on your CV, I've done this, this, and this, and I can prove that I've done it.
And I'm starting to see even now, you know, my generation, we can think about pathways of changing your career and how many careers your generation will have. And I'm starting to see trades more a la carte, where you're getting certifications and use of things, and not so I can see maybe like you said, developing those skills, let's see if maybe you can take 8 courses to develop your skills in this, combining it to say, cumulatively, I have these skills as opposed to feeling like you have to go full on in a full program, or maybe taking a minor type of program where you might do a set of skills or 2 certifications. So I think that's important too when developing a curriculum and what's available and making sure that you're reaching who you're trying to reach, especially as generation and educational paths change. So I think that's important too, to see that you don't always have to, school and important education is important to me as an individual, but understand that it does not have to always be a traditional path. It's not linear always. And I think that can be something that the five can use to develop different skill sets. And even if you can have whole programs, but you might also have the opportunity to say, here's a group of sets of information, a set of skills that you can take and go run with it. Or you can take the whole thing or things like that. So I think that's very important.
I remember remember like being in DeFi when I was younger. I'm like, oh, gotta go to New York, gotta go to MIT, you know. And like, I'm here, and I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I'm here and I'm at FIT.
You know, and I love FIT, and it is good, but the energy, I think, is a big part. You know,
confidence, and now you are more confident in yourself, and you know that it was in you the whole time. It was in you the whole time.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it did help to open that for sure. You know, I feel that, yeah, I just, the energy, everything, like, you know, I don't even have as much support here as I did in Ohio. But it's just like the drive that keeps me going, you know. I'm like, okay, I want to learn, I want to talk, I want to, you know, like all these things. And school is school, you know. It's good, and I am learning things, but it's still like, yeah, it's still like, but like, I feel like, yeah, like we were saying earlier, talking to people is really my biggest resource here, and because there's so many people, you know.
And I do want to be mindful of time because I know you're on a schedule. Megan is taking Bradley to work behind the scenes at a show here in the financial district. And so, any parting words from anyone? I think we got a lot covered in this conversation. All right. All right. What do you define? First flight, now fashion.